Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We meet again today in State Philosophy class or Pancasila class. How are you today? I hope all of you are in a good condition, so you could follow this class until it's finished. Okay, for today we are going to discuss about the implementation of Pancasila values in everyday life. So this is our last meeting because next week you will be starting to have final examination from several subjects. So today is our last meeting. Okay, I think we have been discussing about this in several meetings in this class. And in the beginning of this class, I also have uh, slightly discussed about this, about the implementation of Pancasila values. Because as we know, Pancasila consists of five principles, which are also five moral norms, and Pancasila also the foundation of the state of Indonesia. So all of the legal rules, all of the law have to be based on Pancasila. And these five moral norms are derived from five moral values, which are divinity, humanity, unity, democracy, and justice. And how to the problem is how to implement these ideal values, these ideal and abstract moral values into everyday life. The more important is it possible to implement these values in everyday life? Can we implement this? Because these values is so ideal, so abstract, and yeah, it's a bit more difficult, if we don't know the essence of these Pancasila principles. And the implementation of, yeah, of course, as we know, today is we experience so many information through social media, through internet, electronic media, or printed media, and we also have like smartphone and computer, something like that. And the flow of information uh, today is really more 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 fast than uh, the old day. Uh, in the old day of Indonesia, to implement the Pancasila values is not it's not a difficult act. However, that doesn't mean we could not implement these moral values. Even though it's difficult, we also still be able to. We also have to be able. We also have to be able to implement these five ideal moral values. And nowadays, uh, we experience so many various foreign values could enter Indonesia easily through several media, as I said before, social media, internet, and so on. And the role of Pancasila at this time, ideally, is to become a filter against these foreign values. So, with five Pancasila moral values, we could also make a stand, to these foreign values. We can also determine our standing point to face these foreign values, so that the Indonesian people should not be or should not get carried away by uh, uh, following these various foreign values without being critical at all. We should also have to be critical to uh, any other foreign values. We should also use our our values, which is Pancasila, to to face to to make our stand against these foreign values. For example, right now we are facing the economic crisis. Until now, the world still facing the economic crisis due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We could see in several media in the beginning of COVID-19 pandemic, several governments in several countries they decided to implement a lockdown immediately in order to uh, completely inhibit the spread of the coronavirus. So completely to stop the spreading of coronavirus. However, however, the lockdown like the knife with two eyes. So lockdown also could stop the spreading of coronavirus or minimize the spreading, but also could cause the wheels of the economy to be stagnated. Because of what? Because people could not work freely. Factories stopped, market stopped operating. The production and distribution was also reduced. So the economic wheel is at that time, at this time, is really stagnant. So it caused several crises. As we could read in several media, internet or printed media, there are several countries facing crisis. Right now, a country like UK, they are facing a fuel supply crisis. An economic crisis also happened in several countries. And right now in Singapore, they are facing the another another wave of the spreading of coronavirus. And also the world right now facing the energy crisis because of the production is minimized and the distribution also it makes the supply also minimum. But in the other hand, people, human person, they need the supply, they need food, they need energy, they need uh, to fulfill their needs for their daily life, which is why the next question is how should Pancasila values be implemented during the current COVID-19 pandemic. We could also have a look at 5 values of Pancasila. The first value is divinity. We live in the one and only God. Yeah, we still have to pray. We still have to keep our praying to the God, to the Almighty God, asking for help in dealing with this crisis. And also we have to develop religious tolerance to maintain peace between religious communities. Because right now peace is really, really urgent. We cannot solve the crisis without peace. Uh, as we know in history of Indonesia, after the tsunami disaster in 2004 and 2005 in Aceh, people of Aceh and the government of Indonesia decided to make peace to deal with the situation that happened because of the tsunami disaster. Because there are so many people died at that time, and Aceh people and Indonesian government decided to make peace and to sign the peaceful agreement in Finland. Yeah, because of that, yeah, that is the lesson for us. Yeah, that peace is important to solve the crisis. Okay, and based on humanity values, we should have to uh, keep the mutual assistance or gotong royong between humans to help other humans so that the difficulties of life due to the economic crisis could be more light or could be lighter. And the next is unity values. We need to grow the awareness, yeah, that unity and cooperation are things that can bring all of us, yeah, out of the crisis. And this thing must always be kept in our mind. And the democracy values, people and the government have to maintain the spirit of democracy in solving the crisis. So it should be there should be no dictatorship. There should be no iron fist in solving this crisis. People and government have to cooperate, have to work together to solve this crisis. And the fifth is based on the justice values. Justice must be realized jointly by both the government and the people. So in recently in Jakarta province, we could learn from what happened in Jakarta province recently. The governor of Jakarta decided to revise uh, the local government policies regarding the determination of the provincial minimum wage. Because of that, the increase in the wage of the workers can be suitable with the burden of living that felt by them. Because due to the coronavirus uh, pandemic situation, the daily life, the, the daily life need uh, is also grows because this time we need to buy also the mask. We need to buy the hand sanitizer. So it increase the the daily life needs. And the revised policy on setting the provincial minimum wage was taken by the governor of Jakarta after hearing his aspiration from the various worker unions or labor unions. Yeah, that is uh, how to implement Pancasila values in everyday life. Okay, for now, you may have a look at the slide number 13. Yeah. and please answer this question with your group. Yeah. In your opinion, what is the solution to solve the crisis due to the COVID-19 pandemic based on the Pancasila perspective? Your opinion should be 1 to 2 pages long. Okay, thank you for your kind attention. If you have questions, you may deliver it in the Zoom meeting. Okay, until we meet again, yeah. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.